Hello everybody and welcome to Zachsprops. This is my first video and I'll be doing a large series based on my 3D prints tutorials and how to paint, how to sand, how to get started and all that stuff. So I really let's get started. This is my Battle Damage Mark 85 helmet. Before I get that though, I want to give you a quick tour of my setup and what I have going on here. So if we come on over here, this is my CR10S, which I have printing the middle of the Falcon shield, which I love this machine. It's very good. I'm not sponsored by Creality, but it's a very good machine. I'm really happy about that. But we're not going to talk about the middle of the Falcon shield right now. We're going to get to that soon enough. So I don't like that one too much, but we'll get to that. I have to find a better setup for my 3D printer, but coming back on over here, we have my battle damaged Mark 85 helmet. Now, this has LED eyes in it, which I have bought from AliExpress, which I love them. They're bendable. Have no problems with them so far. Loved wiring them and got them to work very easy. So if you look here, I have it mounted in with a Thingiverse file. It's just a quick little battery pack. That's held in it's a file off of Thingiverse, but if you see, I have it all wired so the lights go on, but I have it magnetized so that when you pull the faceplate off, the eyes go on and the eyes go off. So if you look here, the magnet's here and magnets here and magnets here, which I have to finish this up. This still needs to be cleaned up and everything. But you could see how everything goes together. It goes together very, very simply. Sometimes it takes a little bit of working because it's just, it takes a little bit of wiggling sometimes. But once you hear it click, it goes and it works amazing. I love it. So if you see, this goes like this, and we take the faceplate, we push it in. I've had a little trouble with the LED eyes, but if you look at this, it comes out great, and I really love it. Tutorials are coming out on everything I have so far, and everything you'll be seeing today in today's video. So stay tuned, because I'm very happy with how a lot of these came out, and if you want to follow along with me, you really can, and it's really, everybody can do this. Everybody can do this. This is the helmet. I battle damaged it. All I used was a soldering iron and a knife and a heat gun, and I don't have those on hand right now, but I used tape and really just pulled a little bit of tape off. Paint comes with it, and it comes out really good. And really, you don't have to be so critical with this, because no matter how much you do this, it really comes out great. I love this helmet. It came out great. It's my first wearable helmet, so I really love it. And the damage on it is just soldering iron. I mean, the inside, you could see how I wired everything. But don't worry, tutorials will be coming out on this. I'm going to show you how to do it, how to magnetize it, and all that good stuff. So, that's where I'm at with this. This is a finished product. It's on my Etsy. This is on my Etsy for sale. So, go check that out. Really love how it came out. I'm sure the lucky person who gets this will. And every week over the summer, a video will be coming out. So, I don't know what's going to be coming out before and after that. I would like to do at least one video a week after that. Over the summer, once a week, a video will be coming out. But I really hope that after that, I can continue once a week at least, even if it's just an update. So, this is my second newest helmet. But moving on, I want to move on to my next helmet, which is my first ever helmet. This is the first one I ever made, first one I ever printed. Now, it's a Mark 85. It's on Thingiverse. It's for free. So, I got to get around to finishing it. So, I started printing it. I got my printer. I sliced everything into a million different parts, which, looking back, I probably shouldn't have done. But it doesn't fit together 100% right. It fits together pretty good, but I want to get it done, and I want to fix it to, I have a little bit of work to work on it, because I didn't have Bondo at that point, so I just welded everything and kind of sanded it down, which, I might do an overview of it, a little quick tutorial, but I don't know if I'm going to go into depth in it. This might be it, but this is the first helmet I ever made with 3D printing. I'm really happy with how it came out, and this is a good free helmet when you start out. I really recommend it. Thingiverse is a great place to go look, and I recommend using Cura and Slicer. Cura is what I use to get my prints going, and Slicer is amazing. I got a little too quick with Slicer and started slicing everything up, which is okay, but you know, it would have been better if I printed it in one piece. But I was new to 3D printing. I wasn't comfortable with long prints yet, but now I'm like, 3-day print, okay, whatever, I'll be back in 3 days. I'll keep checking on it or whatever, and that'll be it. So you just have to keep practicing, and as you go along, you'll get more comfortable with it. So I wanted to just show that. And moving on, we're going to have, let's see here, we're going to have, this is a work in progress. This is my battle damage Mark 50 helmet. Now, it's from Zachsprops on Thingiverse. I don't know how I feel about it. I really wanted to make this helmet for a long time, but there's certain things about this file that I really don't like about it. So I didn't use DO3Ds with this. I want to get DO3Ds because I like how they came out better than this, but I'm not too, I don't know if I would print these again just because of how they came out and everything. Stuff didn't print right, but I want to finish it. Pieces don't fit right because if you look at this this jaw area, there's a gap that I have to fix, and it's a bit of, but this is my first weathering item I've done, and I think it came out pretty good. I really like how it came out, and I have the exoskeleton part that goes on the left side or right side if you're wearing it, which I can't wear this, it's way too small, but that broke. I have to put it back together. It's all ready to go, but I have to fix that. So it's not going to be anytime soon, though. I'll probably get to that soon. Maybe not. I'll put a tutorial out for it. Maybe a two-parter. I'm not sure yet. So most of the helmets you're going to see today are on my Etsy, so they are available to buy. This will all be linked in the description. The files, my Etsy, my Instagram, and all that stuff. Everything you can use, everything I've used to get to this point. So I might do an update on this. I don't know. Maybe. I got to see what's going on, if it's worth it or not. But for now, this is my first. Moving on, this is my first Iron Man Mark 85 helmet from Budwin on Thingiverse. I loved this helmet before I got to the Acura version. I really like it. I like how it came out. I loved this one when I first got it. I thought it was the best thing ever. But moving on, now I can see it's not the best to motorize, because if you look on the inside, you could see there's a part there on the Widow's Peak that makes it so you cannot motorize it, which annoyed me because I wanted to motorize this helmet, but, I like this helmet if I were to put magnets on it, which maybe I'll make another one. I gotta see. But, yeah. And I put this helmet in one piece because I stripped the paint off the helmet, and it warped because of the water I used. It was hot water, which you really shouldn't use. This is PLA. You really shouldn't, but dark blue LED eyes, welded it together, and dark blue LED eyes, it came out perfect. I really like it. As a prop just to put up on your shelf or something, I think it came out perfect. So the quality of them is so good. I love these prints and stuff like that. I love this printer. It's very good. This is my first ever Mark 85 helmet. It's very good. I love Avengers Endgame. It's, overall, I don't know which helmet I like best, but this is definitely the top. So we're gonna move on now, and I use PLA. So this isn't a full helmet, but this is the Mark 50. This is another Mark 50. This is from Nico Industries. I checked out their website one time, and it had a free file. It just said it gave me the file for free. So I downloaded it, and if you look, this Mark 50, it has interior details, which you don't find anywhere else, which is what I loved about it. And all my print settings, they're all That'll be a different video, but to just give a little quick basis, I use 0.5 millimeter nozzle at the moment with a 0.2 layer height and a 213 temperature, 60 on the bed. But that's what I use at the moment for Sunlu PLA. That's what works for me. It's not going to work for everybody, but you just got to see what works for you because you don't know what's going to work for you. So you got to see. So I haven't been able to get the Pet G, Sunlu Pet G to work yet, but I really like this one. I like how it came out. It's a nice faceplate. It has a lot of detail to it because you don't see stuff like this. And for free, it's amazing. But the full helmet, I don't know if I'm going to make it yet because it uses so much material. It uses like a half a roll of material, which I just can't afford. I can't really afford to do that right now, but I'm going to get around to it. It just might not be within the next couple weeks or whatever. But, you know, yeah, I really like how it's coming out. You know, it's a very nice file. I think it's probably the most accurate Mark 50 file I've ever seen, or Mark 50 helmet, I should say, for the interior details, the outerior details, and all that. So, Sunlu PLA, the bundle. This is the bundle where you get the refillable spools. I love it. It's cheap. It's $30 in American US dollars. $15 a roll. That's pretty good. I used to use eSun PLA Plus, but it became a little too expensive for me. I would like to eventually go back to that. It worked amazing for me. Just know I'm not sponsored by any of these people. This is what I use. I highly recommend it. I really recommend it. Sunlu and eSun. Those are what I've tried. I'm not really keen on adventuring out too far right now, but if you look right here, this is the Mark 50 helmet I have. This is also Zachsprops. I don't know how I like it. I don't know if I would print it again. The LED eyes fell out, so I have to re-glue them in. This was the first one I ever put LED eyes in. So they just slid over time and they fell out. Overall, it's an okay file. I didn't like how all the pieces were printed. I don't know if I would print it again. Maybe, maybe not. It depends. But I would definitely go for the DO3D, the DO3D Mark 50 suit, helmet, whatever you want to do. Personally, I would like to get all the suits one day. Jan Hammernick, I would love to get that. But if you look here, this helmet was made in 4 different pieces. But the faceplate part, the one side of it came out very thin, and it came out so thin the pieces didn't go together right, and the one part broke, if you look right here. So, you know, I don't know if I would print this one again. Overall, you know what, if you want to print it, okay. I think it's a great Mark 50 helmet, just maybe not the most accurate. Just not a lot of detail on parts that I would have liked to see detail. But you know what, it's on Thingiverse, so with some files, if you pay, you will get more. Some files you won't. You really have to see. But overall, painting and everything came out pretty good on this. So moving on, this is my current project that I've been working on for the past couple weeks or week. It's the Mark 85 Akira version, which is what my first battle damage helmet was. And I really like how it came out. And, you know, yeah. So this is really, it's been giving me a hard time. I've had a hard time wiring it. It's a great file. I love the file. Trying to wire this thing to motorize it, I've had a lot of trials and tribulations. This is a 96% scale helmet. These are both Akira. They could be Akira version. They could be found on CG Trader. Like I said, I'm going to link everything you see in this video down in the description so that if you want to try it out for yourself, you can. But overall, I love this helmet file. I think it's the most accurate. I think I paid like $20 for it. I got a discount on it. $20 for this file. Amazing. I love it. You know, I've had a couple problems with it because wiring is not right. I have to loosen and tighten things. I just haven't had the time to really sit down and look at it. Now, like I said, full videos on all of these are going to be coming out in the future. You know, some of them are going to be 2 parts, 1 part. We gotta see. I gotta see. It depends if they're finished or not. But the Mark 85 motorization kit on Crashworks on Thingiverse, I recommend a 0.3 millimeter nozzle, 0.2 layer height, and a lower speed, 50 to 60 millimeters, because you need that detail. Because some parts are geared on it, you need that detail, which you won't get if you print it with, say, like a 0.6 millimeter nozzle, 0.2 layer height, and 100 millimeters a second. You won't get that detail you really need. It'll be the pieces you need, but it won't be good detail. But I wanna fix this. I wanna get it done because I've always wanted this. And you know, I'm not gonna put the things I used for it, but I'm gonna put the files. Now, if I cracked it by accident, I cracked it, so because you're gonna ding it up, you're gonna break it like I did. So moving on, we're gonna get the Nano Gauntlet now, and this is the Nano Gauntlet. So let me turn it over. This is the Nano Gauntlet free, Zachsprops also. I love this file, very good. Somebody else modeled the fingers to make them solid on Thingiverse. I try to pay for as little files as possible right now because I'm trying to work very tight budgeted. But overall, files are great. I printed it in other than the fingers, I printed it in 3 pieces. I printed it in 3 pieces. I really like how it came out. I think it came out pretty good. I have the LEDs put in, but I drilled the holes and everything, but I have to re-put that one LED in because it burnt out and the wires came out, so I have to fix that. But this is the forearm part, and so it was 1, 2, 3 pieces. 3 pieces. You could do the hand part in 1 piece, but I didn't. If I were to make this again, I definitely would, just to make it easier and everything. Probably a higher quality, so that I could get all those details and not have to sand as much. But I had to print this 3 times. The first time it failed. The second time it under extruded a lot, and I couldn't use it. Once I primed it, I really saw it, and it just wasn't going to work for me. So this is the forearm. You could kind of see a little bit because of the way the light is glaring that's where I had to weld it, but you would barely ever know that is where I had to weld it into from 2 pieces to 1 piece. Overall, you know, if you look on the inside, obviously you're going to see it, but you would really never know because I take my time with it, which is key. You have to take your time. If you don't take your time, you're going to make mistakes. But sometimes making mistakes helps you learn and it teaches you. But I just started getting into orbital. I started using an orbital sander. I used to do all this by hand, but now I'm like, okay, I need the sander. I could do it in 1/10 of the time. It's just some things you need to do it by hand for. You know, but because some parts are so small. Some parts are so small you can't. But I really want to help people who are interested and want to get 3D printed. Trust me, when I saw this, I was like, who would ever want to do that? But now I'm doing it, and I'm like, I got to make these 18 different things. I want to do it. Because once you start doing it, you're like, wow, this is amazing. But, so, I really recommend getting a 3D printer. Start out with the Ender 3. If you don't want to get the CR10S, start with the Ender 3. So, this is Stormbreaker to continue. And it's also a Thingiverse file. You know, I printed this in 3 pieces. Some of these are really good files, some of them are not. This is kind of a work in progress. I'm not planning on getting this done anytime soon. It's more just something I printed one day, and I was like, let me print another piece. And then I printed another piece. And then I printed another piece. And this is the axe portion. I welded it, and I made it a couple months ago. I made it when I was fairly new to 3D printing, which I don't mind doing it. It came out pretty good. But you could see, you know, I should have printed this in 1 piece. I could have printed this in 1 piece, but I didn't. Again, it comes down to I wasn't comfortable with the longer prints. I didn't know how much material I had. But now I'm to the point where I'm like, all right, let's throw on a 3D print. 3-day print. So, you know, I really try not to rush with them anymore. I try to take my time because, like I said, Time is key. If you rush, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to get paint that cracks and wrinkles, and then you have to redo the whole thing, which, trust me, that's happened to me more times than I'd like to admit. It's happened with me. One time it happened on a helmet 3 times on a single faceplate, plus the other parts of the helmet. So, like, just take your time. I know, I wanted to see that final product so bad. But currently in the works, we have a couple things in the works, and let's move on to my broken Captain America shield from Thingiverse. So, here it is. Alright, so, here is my broken Captain America shield from Thingiverse. Zachsprops also. He has a couple good files, let me say. Like, I like some of his files. Some of them I don't like as much, but this one I love. And this is a love-hate relationship with this one. When I first started, I said I'm only going to print one piece at a time, maybe one per roll of filament or whatever. But now I'm like, I got to print all of them at once. Because once I started seeing the detail I could get with it, I was like, all right, let me do another piece, and then another piece. And before I knew it, I had half of it done. I was like, all right, let me print 4 more pieces. So if you look at it, it's almost done on the front. It's really coming out really good, I will say. And, you know, it's coming out really good. You would never know. I printed this in 11 pieces. I don't recommend printing it in 11 pieces unless you really have to. I could have honestly printed it in 4 pieces, but I didn't because I was new to 3D printing when I first started. I really should have printed this in 11 pieces because it was just... it's a mess. It's a complete mess. I don't want to use Bondo anymore because I used so much of it on this. I used so much. I probably used half a can on it. But if you look, you could see on the star a little bit. It needs some more. It needs some work, but it's coming out really good. I mean, I've probably spent a month on it just like this. It's not a high priority of mine, but I really, really like how it came out, and I'm happy with how it came out. So for this, Thingiverse was great for it. Now, one thing that I'll go more into depth in my breakdown of this and my singled out video for this shield, I don't like the thickness of this. I really don't, because it's, when you think of a Captain America shield, you think of something that's very thin, and I just didn't like how thick this was. Overall, I think it's a great file if you're using it for like a wall mount or something, like put it up against the wall. But if I had to use it for like a cosplay or something, I wouldn't because of how thick it is. It weighs a ton. I got so excited. I cut up the belts, I put them on, and I was just, you know, I really liked it. But, you know, you could still see I have a weld line here. Overall, it's probably, you know, it's probably going to be the last thing to be done because only I'm going to see the back. No one else is going to see the back. It's probably going to end up being a wall prop. So I don't know if I would make another one of this shield. If I were to make another broken shield, I would probably make a full shield and then break it my own way so that it comes out like a real Captain America shield, which I try to get as accurate as possible with these things. I just love being accurate and accurate to the movies and all that. But I'm going to link everything I've used. And so let's get this out of the way, and we're going to bring in the Falcon shield I have. So this is the Falcon shield. Now, this thing is ginormous. It's, you know, compared to me, I'm a small dude. But this, I love the file. It's from Mark 3000 Design on Etsy. Love his files. He has a real original Captain America shield. I've talked to him about selling it. I cannot sell this at this time, but I'm looking into making a deal with him, maybe with royalties or a one-time payment. If you guys are interested in this, if you guys are interested in buying this and getting this, I will figure something out so that I could sell this to you guys. But it was printed in 10 pieces, and the centerpiece, this was my Pet G that I printed the centerpiece with. Not happy with it. I wasn't good with it. I have a roll and a half sitting around right now. I want to get an Ender 3, Ender 5 from Creality, Ender 5 Plus, but this video is not sponsored by Creality. Creality is the best to go in my experience, which I only have a CR10S. But if you want a printer, I would definitely recommend Creality. I love it's easy. It's easy to work with. Lots of the parts are very easy to work with, and they're replaceable. They're all replaceable. But this is not mine to sell at the moment, but I really like it. I like this shield. It's great. It's got the right details. It's got everything right to it. But I'm going to go into that more detail when we get to the Falcon Shield video, which I want to do. Because I want to document this. And I have the harness strap here. I have to make another one of these because it's just a duplicate. So I just have to print the same thing again. So let's turn this around and let's see. I love the interior design of this because if you see, the lines are pivoted out so that they make an indent, or not an indent, they're actually pushed out so you could feel them, which I love about it because it gives you that real metal design, which I can't wait to get this like chromed and everything. But I love this shield. I love the design. It's a nice thin shield. You could see how the curvature of it. It's so nice. So that's this shield, and let's go finish up. All right, so we're gonna be finishing up here, and this is where we're gonna finish today. I just wanted to give you an intro. I know it wasn't quick or anything, but this is my intro to Zachsprops. I have an Etsy, I have an Instagram. If you haven't followed it yet, go follow it. I'm gonna update there the most. You're gonna see everything I'm doing, really. It might not be in the moment, but that's really where I go into depth with all my stuff. So if you want to see everything like that, I really recommend going and checking that out. But I thank you all for listening to this. 3D printing isn't easy, but it's definitely worth getting into. So, if you're thinking about it, if you're even thinking about it, try it. So yeah, if you guys are interested, highly recommend it. And yeah, hope you all have a great day. Thank you for staying and watching this. And this was Zachsprops.